I've got a confession to make. I've never had a putting lesson in my life, but even in saying that, I still think I can be a good putter. Might not be able to hit it 330 yards or hit the shots under pressure like tour players, but putting I think I can do a good job of, and I think with the right training aids, so can you. This one putting aid has helped me take 2 shots off my average putts per round in the year that I've been using it. It's also used by 75% of the world's top 20 players and is one of the most recommended products from golf coaches out there. Okay, so the product that I'm talking about is this. It's the EyeLine Putting Mirror. This was recommended to me by a coach who's coaching a number of PGA Tour players. You have to think that if there's that many of the top players are using this as a training aid, there's something to it. So just where I am at the moment, we're in a lockdown in Sydney, so I'm putting in the office, spare bedroom / storage room. Either way, this is a thing that's going to help you with your putting. Equally, when I get to the golf course, throw it down on the putting green. All it takes is a few minutes and it starts to give you the feedback that you want. When I was reading about it, I actually saw that Rory McIlroy, he says that he uses one, and that's what he does when he first gets to the golf course before a tournament round. It's 5 minutes on the putting green just to get you those feelings, just to make sure that your alignment is in, that your eye is in. You don't need to do too much more, but even just that little bit just gives you that reassurance that you're doing the right things and that you're set up properly for the game ahead. So how does it work? Well, like I said, you get your bag and you get the putting mirror. That's about it. You don't need too much more. When you get to the golf course or you get to your practice green, your putting mat, all you need to do is get down and simply put the mat down. There's a line on the mirror that you want to line up to the hole, and that's going to give you the target line. They have a tee on either side to form the gate. And what I would do normally is get over, have a bit of a look, and just hit a couple of putts just to check that you've got the right line. But it's pretty straightforward to get it set up, especially when you're at home like this with a mat that's no break in it. When you're on the course, you might want to use putts that have got break in it, but that's no problem. At the end of the day, all you're trying to do with your putting is control that first part. If you can get it off on line to start with, then the rest is down to the green and the slope and everything else. But the beauty of this mirror is, for me, it's the simplicity of it. There's a lot goes into putting, whether it's reading the breaks, reading the greens, getting pace control, technique, all of that sort of thing. And like I said, I've never actually had a putting lesson, but still believe that anyone can effectively be a good putter. And I think it can be one of the strengths of my game. But what I want to do is just know that I've got the basics right, the foundations of the putting. And if I know that they're solid, then I feel like I can go out and do quite well. And like this, with the mirror, when you look over it, what it does is it's got a number of lines on it. Basically, it gives you one to set up at the front, which lets you know whether your club face is square. It's got you aligned to the target, and the mirror part, obviously, so that you can get your eyes over the ball and see where your eyes are. I tend to find that if I think those things are right, I'm going to go okay. Once you're happy whether you've got it lined up, basically it's just that aid. So like I said, know that your eyes are over it, know that the putter face is square, and then make your putts. That really gives me straight away great feedback. For me, there's also, if I feel like my eyes are too far over the ball, I feel like I'm looking on the outside of the hole. Equally, if I come the other way, I'm inside the line there. I feel like if my eyes aren't over the ball, it's very difficult for me to know that I've got the right line. Just a couple of seconds, a few minutes on this, and you start to know whether you're in the right place or not. At the end of the day, keeping the club face square is super important. If your club face isn't square at the start or at impact, then you've got much less a chance of making it. The other lines there, you see your shoulders. Again, if I got particularly closed with my shoulders, I feel like that's going to impact the putter face. Or if I get particularly open, I'm going to come across it. So it's just really simple, key feelings that it gives you that you need to work on. So if you're like me and you've not got a lot of time to practice, you want to make sure that your basics are in place and that you're doing the right things to give yourself the best chance, whether you're able to practice at home or whether you can get down to the golf course and practice. I definitely recommend a putting mirror. As I said, it was recommended to me by a really good experienced coach. It's done wonders for me, just in terms of that confidence that it gives you. I got mine from the Golf Performance store, which is a store in Australia, the EyeLine Putting Mat. I know there's a lot of different versions out there, and again, like I said earlier on, some of them are bigger, makes it easier to check your shoulders. Some of them, look on the curvature of the putt and things like that. I just go basics. I've got something that was simple, that gives me the feedback I want, that's fast, easy to use, and is going to fit in my golf bag. Takes just a couple of seconds to set up, doesn't get in the way of anything, just gives you simple feedback right before you play or when you get up there to practice. I think it's perfect, I'd highly recommend it. If you're interested in other product reviews, I've done one recently on the PRGR launch monitor. I'll put up a link, definitely check that one out. Again, for people that are practicing at home or practicing up at the range, just want a little bit more feedback for their game to help them improve, give them some numbers, give them some data, definitely recommend that one. Make sure you check out the video.